Hello, this is Godel. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Interactions Remastered. You may have been noticing a slight delay in the episodes, and that is because the backlog has kind of closed the gap over here, so there's not all that much of a backlog at the moment. Basically, I am working on just have some real life things that are preventing me from doing as many episodes as quickly as I'd like to, but we're still gonna squeeze in some episodes here and there. The pace of the episodes coming out in general might slow down a bit, but for the most part, unless I get a lot of open time, I'm going to be releasing them as I record them rather than having a backlog. But anyways, since last time I did a couple more machines just to help make us be a little bit more automated and um, just having things kind of going how we need them to be going. And one thing I did is I actually made a alloy smelter here. So we have our steam alloy smelter there that we've been using for a while. But I went ahead and made this one, and we are going to be putting our like logistic pipe chips in here rather than going and making them manually over there or hooking that up to the logistic system since it's a little over there. Anyways, what I was planning to do today is I actually was thinking, this layout is kind of constricted here, so I was thinking maybe we would actually break out this wall and push my layout out this direction a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do now, and I think I should be able to do it fairly quickly given the tools that I have. And this little facade that I spent like, I don't know, 20 minutes trying to figure out last time is not even going to be relevant because now we're just going to have the pipe kind of in the middle of the room. So let's really quickly terraform and transform this area here. We're going to follow the same general rule with having a 1 block hallway and then have another 9x9 square over there. Whoops, I did not mean to pick that up. Let's get my building materials. Are we going to need more stone? No, we're not going to need more stone. I am going to use our eye chisel, though, if I still have it. Yep, I sure do. I'm going to be building it with cobblestone, and then I'm going to use the Philosopher's Stone to transform it to how I want it to be. Alright, so let's go ahead and make our... Whoops. Make this room here, and then let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Expand this, change it to panel mode, and expand it. Alright, and then make it smooth stone. Great. So there's the floor, and we're just gonna chisel this to regular old stone brick. Wait, no. Sorry, stone brick. There we go. I didn't actually select it. There we go. Alright, there is our stone brick floor. Am I gonna want the... I think I'm probably gonna want the edges as well, so let me just change this to line mode really quick. And hit the edges up as well. Whoops, not you. You can go back to being grass. So here's our edges. And it's kind of hard to see this side. Here we go. Alright, smooth stone it up. And then chisel it up. Alright, there we go. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my walls going up. And like I said, this is going to be very quick given our tools. I will need more cobblestone though, so let me go grab some more of that. We should probably have another one of these tables over here. Sure, we can just have it here against floating in the air for the moment. Alright, so we are going to just match the dimensions of this building. So let's go up, 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 up. And then let's go... Actually, I should have done this first, huh? Get my formation wand and do this guy here. One more. Oh, not two more. One more. There we go. Go here, stand about right there, do another formation wand, and then do another formation wand. And now we can go up here. Sorry, excuse me. Go up here and bust these blocks down. I guess I'll get that one in a second. Go across the roof here. Need to stand further back. All right, there's our roof. We will have a skylight at some point. Let's just see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the center, so this would be where we'd want our skylight. Let me go back to panel mode. And then make it even bigger. Oh no, this is as big as it goes. Okay. So go there and there. Make all of this be smooth stone. This is centered, right? Yeah, it looks centered. Alright, and now all we need to do is get enough cobble to finish our walls, and we are done with this building over here. And I might go for like an open concept here. You know what? An open concept actually sounds kind of cool. Let's kind of make some pillars on the edge there, and let's leave this like open actually. Maybe not this side though. We'll have like a rail over there. Yeah, we'll have like a little box around the bottom there. And then let's just go finish transforming this into smooth stone. And then we're going to chisel it into our stone bricks. All right, there we go. All built out. Very nice. And we'll get some glass up here when I remember, I guess. I don't know. Let me do it now, actually, because I'm not going to remember otherwise. Alright, so we have 8 glass blocks, and for the texture I was using streaks. Let's see here. Streaks. If I put this away and then chisel it, does it remember what I have selected? So it's remembering streaks there. But is it only remembering it because I have one in my inventory still? This is the wrong chisel. Hold up. There we go. Okay, do you remember streaks? Oh, nice. It remembered streaks. Okay. There is our stuff all chiseled up. And let's get some candles in here. Make sure we're all lit up with F7. Let's see. We need something here, something here. I'm going to pick these torches up that were in our grass field and just kind of place them. We can have torches here along the wall because that's going to be like a walkway. Let me get a couple more. And then I also have to go up on the roof. Don't forget that before we have... lest we have stuff like parasoling down on us. Alright, so here's our expanded area. Now that we have this, like, there's a lot more room to play around with space and stuff. Why am I, like, almost dead, though? Hold on. Do I have healing potion somewhere? Here we go. Elixir of regeneration. I will absolutely chug one of those right now. Did not mean to refill the water bottle, but there we go. We can refill the potion. And lunchbox, we can eat a meal, I suppose. And probably a blueberry, whatever else is in the lunchbox. Let's put these lotus blossoms away. I ate a bunch of them at some point. That's how our liquid XP got full, but yeah, we don't really need them right now. Okay. So now that we have more space here, what I wanted to add is I wanted to go ahead and add a I want to make something to smelt items a little better. And what I was thinking to do is the steam oven. So the steam oven is a lot like the large macerator over there in that it's a multi-block and it's a steam multi-block. But the reason we're using this instead of the um, seared furnace over there is because the seared furnace is very like manual input centric and bulk processing. It's not very good for like having things automatically flow into it. So we're going to be doing the steam oven instead. And I believe we had a chapter of it here. So here's our steam oven, what we're going to need for the steam oven itself. And then we're going to need 8 of these apparently. Plus 2 for the bottom. And I don't think we currently have any of these. Yeah, so plus 2 for the steam oven itself. We are gonna need all of these input hatches again. So let's see, a steam hatch there, an input bus, and a output bus. Wait, what? Okay, it's the same recipe. It's just the chest is on the top versus the bottom. And then a handful of these. Do we still have some of these? We have 1. Okay, well, we're gonna need at least 8 more, and then we need 2 more for this guy and 4 more for that guy, so 6 more. And then we have 1 already, so subtract 1, and this should be our total count of stuff we need more or less. So let's see how we're doing on bronze. Of course we don't have enough bronze. What was I thinking? Why would we have enough bronze? Let's go ahead and have some bronze cooking up. Or actually, you know what we can do? I should really start, instead of doing this manually, I should start doing this with our automated system, because why did I make it otherwise? So let's go ahead and let's program a bronze plate recipe. So bronze plate. 1 bronze bar makes a bronze plate in the bending machine, circuit 1. And stuck that in there. And then we need bronze plate. We need a total of 42. And then we don't have any bronze ingots because I have them all in my inventory. Whoops. So bronze plate, we need 6, then we need 20, then we need 42. So those are all going to go over there and cook up. We're going to need more than that, actually. We're going to need 1 of these as well, so we're going to need another 3 for that. Twice, because there's two pipes that we need. And then we're going to need 4 more for that one. Alright, and then we also need 2 large bronze rods. We do have 1 already. So here's number 1. Then we're going to need a second one of those. Do we have any bronze? We do have bronze rods already. So let's just put these in our steam hammer. Get a second one of those. And where's our battery? Looking for our battery. Here it is. It is in our autoclave. Let's put our battery in here and figure out why we have no power. Oh, that's right. I disconnected these steam turbines earlier to adjust their volume. I put their volume down, but in order for the volume to actually be adjusted, they need to be turned off to actually work. Okay, one other thing I wanted to make is for these quests, by the way, the quest completion is because I made not crafting module, these things, module upgrades in our assembly machine, and then I just requested some. But the reason I made these is because I want to turn them into crafting buffer upgrades, and what this lets us do is this lets us connect these into our crafting managers. So I've just put those in the crafting managers. And now in the crafting managers, there is this new button where blocking mode I can change, and I can say um, wait for empty inventory, which will basically it won't send items into the machine until there's space in the machine to do so. And the purpose of that is that if we're cooking like 2 different recipes that use 4 different items in here, obviously this machine doesn't have 4 slots in it, so if we try to send all of it to the machine at the same time, it's going to get stuck or bounce around or be annoying. So we're just going to change all of our options to wait for empty inventory. Other things that we could do would involve what's it called? Using redstone, but due to how they're placed, redstone might be a little bit challenging there to set up. So I'm also going to go ahead and make a handful of chests over here. Let's go ahead and set circuit 8 and throw some wood in there. That's going to give us some wooden chests. And I'm going to grab some sticks because I want to make them into those kind of chests that can be next to each other without merging. So sticks. And the item is called larger chest. So let's go ahead and go in here, and I'm just going to say, like, I don't know, 4 of them for now. So there's our slightly larger chest, and I'm just going to pop those up here. I did not mean to put that right there. Get out of here. When I put the buffer upgrade on those chests, it doesn't actually work, or on these pipes, it doesn't actually work if there's not a place to store the item next to it. So now the items that it's buffering are going to go into that chest. And that's how the crafting buffer upgrade works. And then this guy is basically done here, so let me clear the circuit. This is going to be assembly machine with no circuit, basically. But the reason we have to have the circuit clear is we don't want to have a collision if we do program things in there later. Alright, we can send those back to home. Let's do our bronze drum now. Oh, we don't have all of our tools and stuff. We're probably going to make this be our main crafting table, so let me go ahead and move our tools and such over. Okay. And you'll see when we hit this button here, this button, don't think I've actually explained what that button does. So that button takes any items that we have in our recipe grid, and it requests anything that's missing. So in this case, it's requesting the iron hammer. We have everything else. Unfortunately, it can't really manage this different types of inventories in here properly. Or not inventories, but items that are like the same type of items, or dictionary, that's what it's called. So now it would be like, hey, you know, you need that hammer. But anyways, sorry, I just said a lot of words that don't make sense there. Alright, let's make this guy, and let me actually just go ahead and finish up our wrench there. Okay, our wrench is depleted now. We made those. We can make our steam hatch. So here's our steam hatch. We can make our output bus. Oh, we need a... Did we not have these? Or did I use it? Oh, wait. No, I thought we had some. This is bronze machine casing. Oh. Okay, so we're gonna need, I might have messed up the math on my stuff here. So bronze hull. We do need... I'm so confused here. Hold on, 1 second. Bronze machine casing. So we have machine casing. This is a hull. These are machine casings. Okay, so we need 2 bronze hulls. Okay. Here we go. Do we have any brass plates? We do have 2 brass plates of this kind. Let me see how... I think if we do this, and then we mouse wheel this to a different one, and then we click... Oh, no, here. That's where we set what kind of brass we have. Okay. And then we put our hammer there, and it's still missing our hammer, so I'm just going to take our hammer out. Put our hammer back. Okay, so there's our bronze holes. And then we can make our... we need 2 chests as well. We can make our input bus. That's our output bus, but it's okay. And then we can make our input bus. So there's all of our 3 buses that we need. Next we're going to need the firebox casings. So we're going to need a good number of these. Do we even have those? We do not seem to have those. So we're going to need 5 sets of this stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to also need 3 sets of this stuff. So 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, it's using the bronze rods already here. 1, 2, 3. We are out of bronze. So let's are we going to be using enough bronze to justify putting this in here? In like the lathe? Maybe. I'm thinking like probably not though. Wait, why did I put only 3 rods in here? I'm slightly confused. What am I doing with 6 bronze rods? We need like 24. In fact, we need so many more that I'm going to go ahead and actually say, hey, let's actually automate them. So, I'm going to send those back for bronze. Let's see, whoops. Something is being weird here. Oh, it's being weird because I have bronze rods in my inventory and it thinks I'm trying to add them from here, but that's not how that interface works, so it's getting a little confused. Okay, so 1 bronze rod, 1 bronze ingot will make a bronze rod in the lathe. We don't have our lathe hooked up yet. Let's go ahead and do that. So we need a satellite. We need FPGA for the satellite. Did I put some to cook before? I think I put some to cook. We did. Okay, cool. So we do have some FPGAs to play with. Just stick them in here. So... satellite, we need 1 of those. We have a crafting manager, we have a buffer, we have a chest. We need chests and sticks. 8 sticks. For the slightly larger chest. So here is our slightly larger chest. Here is our crafting manager. And I have too much junk in my inventory. Let's get that out of there. Satellite and buffer and chest. Okay, so that's what we need to set our lathe up. So we put the satellite on the lathe. We name it lathe. We put our crafting manager on top. We connect our crafting manager to the lathe. We put the output to the main result, and then we put our slightly larger chest, not up there, whoa. Of course it falls all the way to the basement. Alright, we put our slightly larger chest up above that, and then we put the buffer upgrade in it, and then we tell it... wait for empty inventory. There we go. All set up. And now we can put our crafting module for the bronze rods in there. See? I was just hesitant to do all of that because it's a lot of steps. All right, and then we also need We also need bronze, huh? So for bronze, I'm gonna make two things here. I'm going to make two, two crafting modules for bronze. Let's see, actually go ahead and stack them up. So for bronze ingots, we're gonna get 4 ingots from this recipe, and one of them is going to be tin dust and copper dust. I forget how to increment this just by 1. Is it control mouse wheel? Nope. Is it shift mouse wheel? Nope. Is it alt left click? Alt right click? Control left click? Control right click? Shift left click? Shift right click? Okay, there we go. It was shift right click and then I have to mouse wheel down. That's kind of dumb. Okay, so this is going to be priority 1 recipe. That means it's going to try to use that one when it's available. And then our backup is going to be copper ingot and tin ingot. And this is going to be our priority 0 recipe. So we have 2 different recipes for bronze ingots, and it's going to use whichever one we actually have available. And now I should just be able to go over here and say, hey, I need 3 of these. And it's going to actually know what to do with all the materials, I hope. Yep, there it goes. It sent some brass ingots over here to the lathe. That's exactly what we want to see, and we can see it's only doing 1 at a time, which is what we want to see. And I can go ahead and craft these 3 frames. We don't have any bronze frames, right? Yep, we do not. All right, and now I can go ahead and do these for... We need to wait for the rods to finish this recipe. Right, that's the whole reason that we did it. Okay, well, in the meantime, we can work on in-bar gears here. So to do that, we just need to make some in-bar, and do we have any in-bar? We do not have in-bar, so I'm going to go ahead once again and tell our thinger how to make in-bar. Do I want to do the thing with dust and ingots again? We don't really have nickel in ingot form, but we do have a lot of nickel dust. Nickel dust, however, I do not really have it set up currently, so... Put our tin dust in here. Yeah, for now, I'm just going to manually do this with iron, and then half a stack of tin, nickel, I mean. Where is our nickel dust? I swore we had a bunch. Did I turn all of our nickel into copper nickel? That might have been a mistake. Oh, here we go. Okay. I did not. I just was very much not looking closely enough in that chest. Alright, and we can speed this guy up. This is making Invar for us. We'll automate that recipe later when we need it in larger quantities. And then for the gear, we're going to need, for each gear, we're going to need 4 rods. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 2 gears. And then we're going to also need 4 plates. So 8 plates in total. Alright, and once all of these are cooked up, we'll have our in-bar gears. Our rods should be ready, so let's go ahead and finish the firebox casings. Okay, firebox casings all done. Now we need to do the bronze machine casings. And let's redo our calculation here. So we needed 8 for the recipe, and then we need 4 for this, and we have 1. Okay, so we only need 11 of these. Gotcha. But it makes it in sets of 2. Okay, never mind. We don't have a choice but to overcraft it. Alright, good to know. Okay, so for this, I'm going to stick our bronze plates away on purpose so that I can basically have this thing do the math on how many we need. So we need to do this recipe 6 times. So 1, 2, whoops. We don't have any bricks. So there's some bricks for any brick enjoyers out there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're out of copper dust. Are we out of copper ingots as well? We are not out of copper ingots. So why are you not... The whole point of me programming 2 recipes in here was so that you would use the other recipe when you don't have enough for this one. Bruh. I mean, I guess really quick I could just, like, grind down some copper, and, I guess this recipe doesn't do us any good, huh? Because it just, like, doesn't really work with the priorities, so goodbye. Stack that in there. Ingots will pulverize pretty quickly, especially if you accelerate the chest output, yes. Totally. Alright, so there's some copper dust now. And then we needed 1 more of those, so that should make the bronze, but it's gonna have to go over here to cook it up, because it's like, yo, somebody's using the alloy smelter, so it's gotta wait. Here's all of this stuff we need for those gears. We can go ahead and cook those up. So there's our Invar gears that we need. Oh, we also need a steam furnace, like a regular steam furnace. We never made one of these, did we? No. So let's make 7 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bronze plates. And then go ahead and make 7 of the pipes, and then we also need to make a bricked bronze hole, which we do have, so that one should just come from the storage. So what the tilde does is that it gets anything missing, and the plus actually requests the item, so that's why I'm alternating between using them. So here's a steam furnace, and it did not give us a quest achievement, so I thought it might, that's why I made it. And what are we doing over here? Still cooking up bronze. Let's accelerate bronze, and then I think we're also making some of these into plates, right? Aren't some of these making plates? Why are we making so much bronze? I'm confused. Where are those bronze ingots going? Okay, just mildly confused as to where all those bronze ingots went. Craft up our 12 of these guys. Didn't we have one? Machine casing? We do not. Okay, so we do have to make 1 extra one. And of course we didn't have enough bricks. So there's our machine casing, and we should have everything now for our steam oven. Just really quick, put these in my inventory, just in case there's a quest for them. Make our steam oven. Alright, okay, jeez. Sorry, there was a lot of messing up of things as I was doing that. But we got there. Let's take all of the items we need here to actually assemble our steam oven. And where are we going to have the steam oven? Our steam is under here. It goes to our generators, and then we're going to kind of need to pipe it over further. But this is kind of good space for machines, so I'm thinking maybe we'll have the steam oven over on this side of our workshop. So let's go like right here. So how do you actually build this thing? I should probably look at that first. So on the bottom, we have to have the steam hatch and then firebox casings. In the middle layer, we need to have the controller and then machine casings, and then also input and output buses. And the top needs to be a little mohawk of the same stuff. But the input and output buses can go anywhere up there. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it, I'm thinking right here, seems fine. Let's put like a hole in the, oh yeah, we didn't make a basement under this area. Well, we will figure that out right now, I guess. So here's our current basement of our current subfloor basement. And we need to get steam over here, huh? I'm thinking I'll just run steam across and then I'll pipe it across the floor over there. Do I have any more pipes? I'm gonna need more pipes for sure. So, mana steel pipes. I have too much stuff in my inventory. Do we have mana steel ready to go? I do have, not mana steel, mana infused. I should have enough here for the pipes that we need, but we're definitely going to need more. So these are the kind of pipes we want to craft. Alright, we have 10 of them. That's enough to get started at least. Let me stop carrying around all these logistic tables as well. Alright, so our steam hatch is going to go right here. Then we're going to connect this. Do we want to worry about one wing, all these pipes? Also, I need my dang wrench if I'm going to do that. I think for the turbines it makes more sense. For this, it's not as necessary. So let's go ahead and... Whoops. Let's go ahead and dig our way through. Just fill this in for now. Ow. Steam burn. Alright, we're gonna go get the rest of our plates to make the rest of our pipes. We definitely don't have enough, do we? 7. We also need a wrench. Yeah, 7 is not gonna cut it. I need to go get more stuff. Sorry, this is a getting stuff that I thought I had ready episode, I guess. Alright, put the steel in there to cook up. Accidentally dispense some EXP. Let's put the cobblestone and dirt away. Let's put the unrouted transport pipe away. Oh, we have satellite pipes in here. Why am I not having this connected to our system? More unrouted pipes. Yeah, let me just take all of this stuff, to be honest. Pipe controller can stay over there. Alright, while the rest of that materials are cooking up, let's go ahead and 27 should be plenty. Let's go ahead and finish building the actual machine here. So here's going to be the front of the block. And then we're going to have the input and output on here somehow. Was this block? I forget. Sorry, let me borrow this again 1 second. Is it hollow on the inside? It is hollow on the inside, okay. So nothing goes here. I don't think I'm going to have any inputs or outputs along the back. So where am I going to want to have the sides? I'm thinking because the logistic pipe already goes over here, maybe I will just have it come over the top over here and like just have it sweep across the top and just have the input and output here. So let's go ahead and do the input bus. Let's do the input bus here. Or the output bus there, input bus, wherever. It doesn't actually really matter what's what. Because our logistic pipes are going to be handling that. But let's do that. Finish the Mohawk, and then finish that guy. There we go. There's our completed multi-block. And then for, we are still going to need the same setup with blocks to pipe stuff in and out of this. Let's see. So these do automatically suck in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have I think I'm going to do 2 more slightly larger chests. So larger chests. Let's cook up 2 of these. And then we're going to need a result pipe. We're going to need a satellite pipe. We have a crafting manager. We do not need a crafting buffer because this chest is going to serve as the buffer. And there's our result pipe. So this is going to be our input over here. And that's going to be the satellite, and this is going to be, where's our pipe manager? We're going to call this the oven. And then we're also going to have the result pipe over here, and we're going to call this the oven result pipe as well. For the crafting manager, I'm just going to stick it, I'm going to stick it over here so it's not, like, obtrusive and in the way. And that's where our actual items will go into the system over here. So oven and oven is now configured to use that for putting recipes in. And then this is where it's going to suck out the completed recipes. And then all we have to do is finish the rest of these. So basic, we need a basic logistic pipe over there for the this intersection, and then hook this up, and that's all hooked up and ready to go. So right here at this point, we need to have a basic logistic pipe. All right, so that's set up now. Now, if we put any cookable recipes in here, they will work. And the reason I've done this is so that we can put all of our logistic chips in here. So let me go ahead and search for logistic, and I'm going to get 3 recipes here. They're all going to be different recipes. So I'm going to have raw FPGA makes FPGA. And I'm going to have raw advanced chip makes advanced chip. And then I'm going to have raw basic chip makes basic chip. Plop, plop, plop. And now, FPGA, if I have all 30 of these, and then I request one of these, it should know to send the stuff to make a FPGA over here. Let's see. Okay. So first it has to make the stuff to make a vacuum tube or circuit. I think it's making the vacuum tube or circuit here. So here it's making the circuit board. I just saw the stuff to make the circuit board. I did put circuit board over here. It must just be making the circuit board for the vacuum tube, because what does this take again? Oh, it takes an electronic circuit. That's made in a regular crafting table because we don't have the circuit assembler yet. Got it. Okay. So there goes the fine electrum wires, or the fine gold wires. Let's go ahead and speed that one up a couple ticks, because that's kind of what our bottleneck is at this point. Oh, one thing I just remembered here is these result pipes only extract one item at a time, and one thing we can do to alleviate that is that we can use... We need a raw advanced chip. Okay, we don't know how to make a raw advanced chip. You know what? Let's fix that right now. So raw advanced chip. Advanced chip is made with 2 basic chips and a diamond. Okay, so we need a diamond and then advanced chip. So raw advanced chip, it makes 2 of them. Hold on. Yeah, raw advanced chip with basic chip. There we go. 2 basic chips and diamond make 1 raw, or 2 basic advanced chips. And let's do basic chips while we're in here as well. Basic chip is... raw basic chip, rather, is vacuum tube and 2 red alloy wires. And it makes 2 of them. So vacuum tube... It was 1 vacuum tube, right? And 2 fine red alloy wires. There we go. Now this should be able to make module upgrades. Alright, but it's going to have to do a whole bunch of things to do that, because I don't know if we have any vacuum tubes. We do have 1 vacuum tube, so it doesn't need to do all that rigmarole, but it's just so nice. Like, that goes over there. Now that comes back here to be crafted again with the diamond to get the advanced chips. Like, it's just so good, right? Where am I seeing dust? Oh, that's a rubber pulp over there. Okay. We can also check that our steam oven is working, and spoilers, it's not. We didn't hook up steam to it. What's missing here? Hammer. Where's our wrench? Did I put our wrench somewhere? Oh, it's right there in my inventory. I totally did not see it. All right, there we go. I'm also just gonna go ahead and set the pipes up properly. Okay, we're gonna want them set up because we're probably gonna have our bigger furnace over here, which is gonna need a stronger supply of steam. So we're gonna want these to be set up for proper one-way steam flow, so the steam doesn't slosh around in here. Whoops, that one's incorrect. The reason I broke that is because I needed to get in the corner, not because it was incorrect. I realized I could have just undone the incorrect thing there. I cannot see what I'm doing down here. There we go. One way this pipe. Let's put those pipes there, and we are going to one way this, one way that, and then connect those. Alright, that looks all correct, and now that oven should be working. Let's see how fast this oven actually is here. So I have 10 cobblestone, right? Let's put cobblestone in. So it takes 10 seconds to do a recipe, and it's doing 8 parallels. So that's pretty good. And then when there's less items, it actually does do it faster. Okay, that's good to know. So if it's only sending 1 item over there, it should be pretty quick. So module upgrades. Why did I make these? Because I wanted to chisel them into advanced extraction upgrades. So this we can put on result pipes, and the way they work is that they basically make it so that when result pipes are taking items out of chests, it's going to pull whole stacks out. So I'm going to put this on both of our result pipes for our oven and our crafting setup. And now if we make, I just make like a bronze ingot, I guess. Can I set this to craft mode? How do you set this to craft? Craft mode. If I tell it to craft 1 bronze ingot, It is going to go set it to craft, right? No, it did not send it to craft. It sent us the actual ingot because it was, you know, over there. So now it needs to craft some. So here it goes. It sends some tin and copper over here. What we should see is that all 4 pieces of bronze should fly out here at the same time. It shouldn't shoot them out like pew 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 one at a time. It should. That is not what you were supposed to do there, sir. Works the same as item stack extraction upgrade. So what is item stack extraction upgrade? Item stack extraction upgrade. I might need to go Google to see how this works if I don't understand how it works. Okay, so some brief Googling leads me to believe that perhaps it pulls one item stack upgrade will pull one stack of items at a time. Really quick to test this though. Let's just do a quick recipe here for stone. We do not have. I'm just checking that we already have it. So let's do crafting module. Cobblestone makes stone. And throw that in our oven. And then let's just get like a stack of stone. Oh, and of course we need to supply some cobblestone. Let's get a stack of that. So it should send that stone all over here. The oven should pick it up. Oh yeah, okay, so see, it's taking out 2 items at a time. So what would be a reasonable number of items to take out? I think for most cases, if we have it maybe like doing 4 at a time, that seems reasonable. So let's take, I'm gonna do 6 over here. And get my red remote just so I can look in here. Okay. 6 over here sounds good, and then I'm gonna do 2 in the oven because the oven's not super fast, right? So wait a second. Now it's doubled. So does each stack double it? Because now it's doing like 4 at a time that I saw. Yeah, you see that? They disappeared in sets of 4s. So that would mean this one over here would be going 6 doubled. What is that? 2 to the 6th power? So 2 times 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 64. Okay. If it pulls a stack at a time, that seems good. And I don't think I even mentioned there that red remote is how you can look at modules that are in pipes. All right, there we go. I mean, that's gonna have to do it for this episode. We did some stuff in here, certainly. We would like to do more stuff, but I mean, having the steam oven set up and having this space made for us is gonna be huge for future building endeavors. We can put a stone brick back here. Alright, and then I don't think we need to have the floor over here exposed. Go ahead and just do some quick cosmetic cleanups over here. So we don't need that big hole there. We kind of need a way to be able to see the thing in here. Let me really quickly check with cables. I think we can basically make a hole in the cables here. So let me borrow this cable for a second. Let me put a cover here, and then let me... That is the wrong kind of cover. Sorry, one second. Not stone brick cover. Where's the... Do we have cover? We might not have any more of those stone brick facades. Facade is what it's called. Okay, sorry. Facade. Okay, we do not have any facades. Can I make iron plates? Iron plate. And let me get some stone bricks. And how do you make these into facades again? Sorry, I am drawing a blank on how to make the facades. Facade. Iron plate plus the block you want to make. Okay, so there we go. Stone, brick, facade. I think now if we cover this up with a facade, and then we reconnect the cable, the power should be able to flow through that, right? I think. I mean, let's test it out really quick. Let's make some gold wire. Gold ink and incoming. Yep, the power is still coming through that facade. Okay, cool. So we can also go over here and do the same thing on this side for this cable. Let's see, we want it, can't really actually access the cable. We want to put it on right up there. And then we can fill the rest of this in with blocks. Where did I put all my stone blocks? Like, I keep taking stuff and then putting it away. It's so bad. Okay. There we go. That's looking nicer over here. This is going to be item pipes at some point, but for now it is just small item pipes, and whenever we get the machines over there, we will hook up the pipes to the thing that we want to have. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's going to be it for this episode. We have done a decent bit here. I mean, it feels like we didn't do much, but like we set up a lot of infrastructure, so next time. I don't know what we're going to do next time. I have to figure it out. I don't even know when my next chance to do a recording is going to be. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the series, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will clean up all of this junk over here. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.